wa xipalani loyi i mahambahamba ya sangavela wa rintiho ro fa vutiti hi ku lawula nhlolo wa jekejeke ra milomo mamiyeta hi vusiku hi ketlela wa rhavu lerikulu khomani kwala ra n'wabyinyana ni ku nkuna wa livona liseli la Yesu wa livona liseli la Yesu wa livona liseli la Yesu wa livona liseli amabulo wa livona liseli la Yesu wa livona liseli la Yesu wa livona liseli la Yesu wa livona liseli la Yesu.
You know, when you are happy, you don't know how to start. But see, you eventually find your way, and you find yourself moving, and you find yourself swimming. Whether you're swimming in a storm, and the storm gets over, and you find a balance, and you start flying like an eagle. And it's exactly what I'm going to do today. You know, today is the best day. Today is the best day, the 7th of October, when this development started. It started, on the 14th of April. It's also a best day because my daughter was born on that day. This month, when we were planning for this occasion, I knew that, it's also a best day, because my mother then, before she died, the day that she was born in the month of October. And the other thing that I had planned, that it should happen today, because of the blessings of God in terms of the rain and the way it drizzles, you can see it doesn't rain heavily. In our culture, it signifies blessing. We had 3 planes that were supposed to depart from Lanseria with dignitaries that they were also going to be having their cake because of their birthday in this month. Cut here and be eaten here, together with myself, celebrating my mother, together with my family, celebrating my mother. So unfortunately, they couldn't take off from Lanseria because they said, they can't land at Pepu airport because it was going to be slippery. And those dignitaries, one of them, the chair and the premier of the ANC, and the secretary, and the deputy chair of the secretary, they will know him being the veteran of the ANC who loves me dearly. He always says, can I write a book about you? Because we as the ANC, we don't realize that we've got a jewel in you. It's the veteran Mavuso Mzimambo. He was supposed to be here. He'll be turning 80 this month. Mavuso Mzimambo, for sure you know him. He's your veteran. I'm a businessman. I'm not a politician. You'll agree with me. The second guy who's going to be, his birthday of, August. You all know that, I'm a member of Kaiser Chiefs. Kaiser was supposed to be part of, that delegate from those, planes that he couldn't take off. Kaiser Mutawu is celebrating his birthday this month. So he's my chairman at Kaiser Chiefs, as you know, that, I'm a shareholder, I'm a director. The first one is Minister Joe Pata. I would say, Mike, what's wrong? The second one, it's your secretary. What's your Mike? So unfortunately, all those dignitaries, they were supposed to be here. And I know some of the professors, and I know that, I do have some other professors that I've invited here. I don't know whether they are here, all of them. Any one of those professors that I've invited, they can raise their hands so that you can check whether they are here or not. Or I see Professor Resenga there, and there were doctors from Univen as well. I can see they are there as well, because Univen wants to change. Univen, they want to change, that all the faculties, they must have an element of business understanding. And I'll tell you why. My brother is a medical doctor. When he went and studied medicine, you remember that they study the human body functioning. But you see, he felt that something is missing, and he went and studied a business, and he's got MBA because he wanted to understand business. You cannot go and study political science and then you become a politician and then you become a minister. You don't know, understand business. That's why you find problem. Anyhow, it was just a starting point. Thanks very much, Program Director, Honorable Premier, Minister, Deputy Ministers, MCs, Hoshidi Khale, and I was supposed to mention all the chiefs that are here. My brother has alluded to it that, he's apologizing. But see, there are those that, I will have to mention, Majosi, Masia, and Nkuzani, because we are surrounded by, those elements here. And of course, my family is here, and my whole family, including Mam Hulu. Mam Hulu is the first wife of my father. Come back as a explorer. Mam Hulu was 92 years old. The way we were taught, in a respectful way from the Church of ZCC, which, today we have the son of our bishop, Eddie, we really appreciate. I know that, we wrote a letter to the bishop. The way, we are so disciplined. I couldn't start this kind of development without informing my bishop. I had to arrive and say, on this date, we'll be having, this soil tending. But I understand that, our church is so disciplined, and our church has got multitude of masses. And it will be difficult for him to break the protocol to come here. Normally, when we have this kind of, brass band to grace this occasion, but he has prayed for this. He said, all will be well, and you'll see Pula, Pula. So, I've acknowledged everyone, the academia that are here, and everyone who's here. You must feel it. We are here today to witness, the sword turning of the Nkuna city in Nkuna Kraal. I want to clarify that properly so that you can understand it well. We are here to witness the sword turning of Guna, a city in Nkuna Kraal. Nkuna Kraal is the area which we have already started, where we are having work at play. If you can go outside, you'll see the earth moving equipment, people are building. We created jobs, which our president said we're going to do the development of new cities. And it's something that I've been working on, Premier, for more than 20 years. Minister and MCs and mayors. To build a city is not something that you announce it today and then it happened today. There's a lot of things that comes with it. By the way, I didn't tell you something. I was supposed to have started by saying that when you see me talking, most especially when I talk about something that I know best, there's no need for me to write a speech. Because I talk about something that I know. I'm not, that big people that will go into a company because our country has introduced the BE. I'm not saying BE it's wrong, it's good, but it's how it's implemented. Whereby people, they'll say I've got 26%, and he only go and collect check month end, but he doesn't know what's happening there. Not in my life. I want to understand each and every detail of what's happening in my company. By the way, I've got a huge group of mixed people that are working for Mike Nkuna. Maybe some of them, they are here. They can stand up so that you can see them. Tony, everyone working from ICS, Masilita, and the technical team that is working on Masilita. In some of them, they are not here. We've got too many mixed. We've got Indians, Portuguese. Some of them, I call them my Portuguese sons, because you see, they even took me to their parents in Madeira. And then I had to see something that I saw in one of the malls in Madeira. If you go into Guyana Mall, there's a certain area, it's greenery. And if you look at that design, I saw it in Madeira and come and implement it here. So it's an indication that I know each and every detail. So what I was saying, you can see, even if I divert, I'll pause and go back where. So I was talking about starting a city. There's a lot of things that happen. It's a thing that started 20 years ago as a dream. When I looked at how South Africa was segmented, South Africa was segmented into 3 spheres: urban area, rural, and in black areas. It must happen in urban area only. So when they go into parliament, they'll take 80% of the budget. And I'm happy here. We've got Minister Masondo, who's Deputy Minister of Finance. He talks to Treasury, and Treasury, ultimately advise, Parliament. If I'm wrong, you correct. But it looks like I'm correct, right? So you'll find that they will take 80% to go to urban area, and then 20% to the township and rural areas, because they didn't want to develop in those areas. But there was an opportunity, because you see, the urban area became saturated in terms of development. Now that the urban area, where does development go? Unfortunately, the president was supposed to be here because of other things, and the weather, because you see, he was supposed to fly in and fly out, because you see, he had another commitment. So he couldn't make it because of that, and he really apologized through our premier. And he said, I wanted to be there so that I can see the Tumami, right? So I wanted to say, we took over in 1994. When we took it over in 94, the plan that we were supposed to have come up with, I've done a little bit of research about other countries, such as China. China had 2 towns, Beijing and Shanghai, and the rural areas and the squalors in the 1700s. And they realized that if everyone was to flock into those urban areas, they are going to create a lot of shacks. So the government of the day, because it had a will to change, it needs a will and courage and determination to change. So the government of the day in the 1700s, they said, we cannot allow people to move where they are residing. We want to stop people from there, but see, let's give them dignity where they reside. How did they do it? They changed everything and give, the so-called bulk infrastructure that, the president is talking about. And decentralize it into the rural areas and give title deeds to those people so that, they can have ownership, so that, they can have, be able to have a mortgage. And then you will, she will agree with you. And, what they did again, they took 80% of the budget in Parliament to the people. If you look here, where are the people? The population of our people is here. So, to some extent, I won't blame government. And I'm telling these people because they'll be able to tell the president. I'm telling the premier, he'll be able to tell the president. Because they also have a provincial, parliament. They also do the budgeting. So the budget must go in the right place. That doesn't have resources. And the only thing that the municipalities will do, they'll go to the local resident and raise their rates and taxes, including business. Raise so that businesses that is conducted in those areas is not feasible. It doesn't make sense whereby you find that the rates and taxes of Johannesburg, because I've got development in Johannesburg, it's 20 cents into 100. 20 cents into 100 rand. You come to a municipality of Guyana, it's 35 cents to 100. There's no roads, there's no bulk infrastructure. What do you call that? You come to a municipality of Polokwane. The rates and taxes in Polokwane, it's 11 cents. You go to Musina municipality, the rates and taxes is 50 cents. How are you going to grow, the economy in those areas? And the things that were supposed to be done, you are supposed to lower the rates and taxes so that you can attract investors to come and invest and create jobs. That's why I was saying that I'm not giving a speech, I'm lecturing. I'm not giving a speech, I'm lecturing. And I'm lecturing, the politicians that are here. The other thing, Deputy Minister, before we took over in 1994, we had, 3 homelands. We had Venda, we had Gazankulu, we had Libuakhulu. There was bulk infrastructure that was installed there. And during those days, there was no PVC pipes that last more than 100 years. It was only galvanized pipes. I can guarantee we can go there with me. You check each and every street. There's a sewage spill, a sewage spilling. You can go to Guyana. That treatment plant, Deputy Minister, it was built for fewer houses Now, Guyana has grown. That sewer plant treatment is collapsing. You go to municipality, you talk to the municipal manager who's running his own business of a bottle store. He says, you pay, and the rates and taxes, whether it's expensive, we need money from you. It's the other way around, because government has to be an enabler in terms of, doing this kind of things. So in terms of creating jobs, we can go to Interlude, because I was talking to the mayor, and I'm grateful, it's very cooperative, and with and they said, can you work out, a plan so that, we understand how we can fix this ailing, infrastructure. I said, we'll work it out. So we're busy working with Makado to do the assessment of the whole of, Interlude. Just that, to change the old pipes. I'm giving you solutions. I'm not talking or this theory or marketing talks or whatever you call it, right? But see, this time I'm talking about practical. We can go and put up a solution just to replace all those ailing pipes and increase, the sewage, system. Will create more than 50 jobs, just like that. And I'm not saying that give it to me. No. I can help in planning and say do it like this. You create jobs tomorrow. You do the same thing to Guyana. You do the same thing to Luwahu. You know how many jobs you would have created? Minister? You would have created more than 200,000. Now we're talking about, I'm giving you a plan. Now it's a practical. So these are the things that, I felt that, I must just share. If I were to share, I can talk 5 hours without repeating myself. But you see, we've got, the keynote speaker being the premier. He's the one who's going to lead as, a keynote speaker. But you see, what I like about my premier, I've been phoning him until he gave me an opportunity to come and, to go and present my dream. And when he gave me a chance, I went and presented the first day. He said, hey, I think I underestimated this whole thing. Let me go back and put my team together, and of which I appreciate, and I will take this project to be run from his office. Let me understand who is that. Let me understand who's that. Or they are just passing. Okay. Because I'm a disciplinarian, and I was going to discipline them. So he gave us chance to go and do the presentation, and I'm glad So all the coordination, it's run from his office, and he has included the MEC Mokoni from economic affairs, and all the municipalities now, they are being coordinated, but you still have other people within the municipality. They are municipal managers, but they don't know what they're doing, and I'm afraid we won't be able to create jobs if those people are normally they've got, up to 50 million grant that, they allocate per development. So we applied as Masingita. When we applied as Masingita, they only gave us, 12 million of the 50. And the rest of the money came from our pocket. And we had an agreement with the previous municipal manager in Guyana, whereby, we said, we'll have to construct this road, and it will help, to easy traffic within the town. And then the previous management agreed to that, we'll give you half of that money. The other money will come in a form of concession. So the one that came in, he said, no, I don't want to hear that nonsense. Because he doesn't understand. And he doesn't understand the role of, the ML. So, these are serious problems. So this time around, after they've educated us in their office to say, do it through municipality. And then we went through municipality, and then they said, you'll have to appoint, apply through municipality. The money is going to be ring-fenced for this specific project. Because if it's not ring-fenced, that money will find, the legs and go out. So this time around, we applied, and I had an announcement that she'll give us 50 million for the treatment sewer plant here and some other rectification here. So you can see that, the cohesion between business and, government, it's working. And it's what, the president is calling on a daily basis. So we want, other municipalities to follow suit. We are there as business people to assist. Some of us, we've got several skills that can assist, because some of the municipalities, they didn't even know how to apply. Mr. Premier, I had to send my people to go and educate them how to apply. And some of the people, before you became a premier, you worked with them in government. They've got so much experience in terms of how government works. So they were, helping them. Take Mopani, for instance. Mopani, where we develop Masingita Mall. Every day we have, student spills, every day. And then they asked us to give them a plan. They said, they don't have money to do a plan. We said, we'll pay for that, a plan. We went and paid. That plan is gathering dust. Because the people, they don't understand. So these are the challenges that, we are having. But you see, be as it may, I want to thank, the mayor of Guyana, the executive mayor of Membe, the premier, all the ABCs, including the minister and the deputy minister. But you see, I know deputy minister of finance, he's got a huge homework. I can tell you, you've got, a vocabulary, a diary here. If you can come and sit with me, I'll tell you how to turn the tables. Because I can tell you about a plan. I know how they've done it, because the previous government, they had a plan. And I can tell you how they executed, which, gave me an honorary degree, which is UJ today, right? And then below RAW, there was technicals. Below technicals, they were vocational. People that can do, plumbing. So we are saying in our country, education is only the 20%, which is university teacher. I believe in this country, and I love this. Even if I can have 10 billion, I won't immigrate to London. Why must I go and exercise, the culture that I don't know? Because I want to win more. I'll win out. I want to win more here in Moria. So, Mr. Premier, I'm so happy you are here. I don't know the cake, where we're going to cut it. For my mother, whether we can do it later, I don't know. I must be advised. Because we still have to give the premier, and then we can advise when to cut the cake. And thanks everybody, I love all of you. Thank you very much.
Round of applause for the men of the moment. Perfect standing ovation. You must have a plan. There is the plan, ladies and gentlemen. Without wasting much time, there are 2 items that I'm going to accommodate before we get the keynote address. Please bear with me. I'm now going to call upon Ma'am Mary Jane Mukatse. She is the senior consultant of MTN to do her honors. Apparently, there's some gift that she has got to offer, and I will hand over the podium to her to conduct what she would like to do. Put your hands together as you come forward. As she's doing what she's doing, ladies and gentlemen, I heard about Steve Jobs. You know Steve Jobs. He's passed on because of pancreatic cancer. When he was asked what is the best thing that he would remember, that he's very, very proud of, people thought that he was going to gloat about the iPhone, which was his invention. He didn't do that. He actually said, I'm happy to have brought together a group of young men and women of diverse backgrounds who will be able to take the frontiers of technology to another level. Now, my brother has seemingly done the same. He's brought together a diverse team of men and women, young for that matter, who are taking the property industry to another level in South Africa. It's time for Mem Mukatse. Thank you.
Greetings to the leadership, the minister, deputy ministers, our premier, the mayors, MECs, councillors from the district and the municipality, traditional leaders gathered here, and the Nkuna family. Not forgetting the people of Nkuzani, Masia, and Majosi. All protocol observed. Inhlikani, Jumasiari, Tobela, good afternoon. Vito ra mina amukela Nhlungwani wa Kabungi, about 7 kilometers from where we are. Nimrangeri eka MTN wa technology, Northern region West. Nitweshe vulavuri xin'wani xi mention ku 4IR, it's upon us. So mina ninge ka Dr. Nkuna, a city can never be smart without connectivity. And that's why MTN has tumored me now this journey with you. I'm happy to hear the minister speak of digital migration. Minister, indeed, Kona City needs to be smart. So we need that spectrum, please give it to us. To Dr. Nkuna, what I can assure you is that if the minister gives me spectrum, I will bring 5G to Nkuna City. There is a Greek proverb that says, greatness of a society is achieved when old men plant trees whose shade they may never sit to enjoy. This project, amongst other developments by Dr. Nkuna, is indicative of an unselfish character of a visionary leader. A society can only be great when people become responsible, not loath, and be unselfish. Dokotela Nkuna, akhensa mintirho ya vulavula. You've been planting trees with no intention to sit and enjoy the shade. We are grateful for the contribution you are making to our society. At MTN, we believe that everyone deserves the benefit of a modern, connected life. And we're gonna connect Guna City to that modern network. This year alone, MTN has invested 350 million rand to improve network in rural areas. The project is ongoing. Villages like Bungeni, who for 27 years had sketchy network, today, I think about 3 weeks back, we switched on tower there. So the improvement of the network is observed. At MTN, we are here because we want to give hope to the hopeless. We want to say to everyone gathered here today that a child born at Nkuzani Village should not be forced to go to Gauteng to access tertiary education. I will bring connectivity to you at Nkuzani so you can choose to study from home and access your tertiary education. Dr. Nkuna is from a village, and today we are gathered here to celebrate this work. To a child born in the village, it is possible. You need to believe, you need to work hard. I too am from a village. With MTN Foundation, that's where Mama Jane comes in. We are committed to creating sustainable change through technology. MTN Foundation's purpose is to bring about meaningful, measurable, and sustainable change that helps disadvantaged and rural communities to become self-sufficient. With a focus on innovative technology, we aim to uplift communities towards independence in this bold, new digital world. Tate Stan Matawata, our Premier, thank you for leading Limpopo to the promised land. Your legacy will be enjoyed by generations to come. To Dokotela Mike Nkuna, nati tsonga hata emahlweni ka n'wina. Ni ku Xikwembu a xi mi katekisi, xi mi hlayisa, na ku mi nyika rihanyo, a khensa tatana. I'll hand over to Mama Jane.
I'm glad today that the Taula take it hearing, the handler over to Ntate Amu Kamwani. Papa Nkuna from MTN. MTN is donating 10 tablets with 10 SIM cards that are loaded with 3 gig monthly for 24 months. To the Nkuna Foundation. This is a token of appreciation to the pioneers of the rural township development.
The other ones are for me personally. Thanks very much. You must be accountable because people, they don't know how to account. So I must register them within my foundation and be accountable.
I can't.
Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for the generosity of MTN. This is our national corporate citizen, of which we are very, very proud. You know that they've invested tremendously, even abroad. Now, traditional activities are steeped quite a lot in whatever we do on a daily basis. Even this occasion as well has to be illuminated by such. We have got a group of Shangan dancers, bachina shigubu wakulukumalaba. Ilava kwa vitana, kurvata watachinela mu premier wa hina, andakala kubachinili mu premier utatabuka. Premier. Yes, I've just been reminded. This traditional shigubu, she's sponsoriwa Himasingita group of companies. Put your hands together. After they have made their rendition, I will kindly ask our premier to rise so that he can give us the keynote address. Thank you.
Thank you, Yakenza. Skukushaina. Program Director, Dr. Guna, our host, the Executive Chairperson of the Mashingita Group, Dr. Mike Nkuna, the Guna family, May Nkuna Lebana, Leoma Kutia, former Premier of our province, Advocate Mwakura Masodi, Deputy Chairperson of the ruling party, the African National Congress, Mayor Florence Razilani, Secretary of the ruling party, the African National Congress, Ndate Soviet Lekhanyan, representatives of His Grace Bishop B. Lekhanyan, Eddie and your wife, Minister of Communications, Mentavin, Deputy Minister of Treasury and Finance, Dr. Masondo, Deputy Minister of Trade, Industry and Competition, Nomalungelo Guna, who are here. I've seen Menandi Dalan is here, MEC for Agriculture. I've seen MEC Ngagare Development is here. Executive Mayor of Bembe District Municipality, Councillor Nkuna. Mayor of Collins Chabani, Councillor Moses Maluleke, Big Boss. Chairperson of the House of Traditional Leadership, Koshi Mukoni Dikhali Murare. Chairperson of the Mashangane Batsonga Traditional Council, Osimamita. Our esteemed traditional leaders present here, Bakadi Fuking, Baka Mafatinga Matelele, Maparamko Majwara Tamara, Madla Patinga Mshate, Kitoma Kabonaba, Dr. Nkuna Village, Mor Mararechi, Barishanele Development here, Ba Nkuzani, Ba Majosi, Leba Masi, Ba Oshaka, Ralaret. Leaders of religious bodies present here, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Chairperson, Mike Guna, and the directors of the Masingita Group of Companies for your generous invitation to the sword-turning ceremony, to this sword-turning ceremony. As government, we view today's ceremony not as just a sword-turning event, but a seed-planting ceremony. We are here to plant a fertile seed of socio-economic development. We are here as government to commit that we will be working with role players to ensure that this seed is watered and nurtured to its full potential. At its fullest potential, the seed we are planting today will bear the fruits of socio-economic development and prosperity. This socio-economic prosperity will be evidenced by the creation of jobs, the reduction of poverty, and the improvement in the quality of living for all our people. It is against that background that our President, Matamela Cyril Ramaphosa, wanted to be part of this event, wanted to be part of this history-making event. Unfortunately, for the reasons that the Dr. Nkuna has already provided, he was unable to be here. And he called me to come and say to all of you, and to Dr. Nkuna in particular, he would want to apologize. He would want to send his deepest apology, sincerest apology for having not made this event. He would have liked to be here. Ladies and gentlemen, the work we are witnessing today is much in line with our government's development agenda. As Premier of our beautiful province, Limpopo, I am particularly excited about any development that takes place in those areas that have been previously marginalized. Remember that this, ladies and gentlemen, will be the first post-apartheid city to be established in this country. Earlier on here, I was just discussing or talking that this is not just going to be an ordinary city. It is going to be developed into a smart city, and she committed to that as minister herself. There will be absolute It will also be very easy. You'll be surprised, Dr. Nkuna, if children of this area. But today's ceremony builds on such progressive developments which have taken place in our province since the previous election. Last week, Minister Gweta Mantashe addressed the mining conference which we hosted here in Limpopo. The focus areas for that conference included issues such as the current and future investment climate for junior and emerging miners. The conference also dealt with issues around investment limitations that exist in Limpopo and other parts of the country, more especially in rural areas. The engagement also highlighted the unique provincial minerals and mining offerings of this province. Preceding the mining conference was the hosting of the Musina Makhado SEZ Smart City Development Symposium and the Provincial Investment Conference, which we hosted at the beginning of September. These events, including today's ceremony, breathe life into our commitment of building the Limpopo that we want. At the core of this idea is our collective commitment to drive our people out of the dehumanizing web of poverty, unemployment, and underdevelopment. Experience has proved that this is a Herculean task that requires innovation and partnership. It is for this reason, ladies and gentlemen, that as government, we see corporate entities such as Masingita Group of Companies as a reliable and valued partner for socio-economic development. As we go into the forthcoming local government elections, the ruling party is presenting a commitment to fast-track rural development. It is in this area of rural development that we expect a continued partnership with corporate citizens such as the Masingita Group of Companies, led by visionaries such as Dr. Nkuna. The ruling party is going into this election with a commitment to ensure that all levels of government work to grow the economy, increase jobs, and reduce poverty, especially the poverty amongst the young people. In this way, we will make democracy meaningful for the majority of our people. Democracy is indeed about taking services to the people, and not only services, but quality services. That is why I was so worried, Dr. Nkuna, when we were talking about the municipal managers who doesn't even know what they are supposed to be doing. And I can assure you that with this government, with this approach and the zeal that we see, we are going to deal with that situation from home. We'll deal with the situation and we ensure that we appoint right people with requisite skills at the right positions. Democracy is about building schools, building clinics, building roads such as this one, and so forth and so on. At the same time, ladies and gentlemen, we must be understood. We are saying Aluta continue. The struggle still continues to bring a better life to our people. Despite the fact that we have delivered so much as this government, we still feel we have not done enough to our people to such an extent that we can say it is now good. The country is now liberated. There is still a lot that needs to be done. I am saying this, ladies and gentlemen, because there are those who conveniently lose their sight and can no longer see simply because it is now an election season. Suddenly, these people can no longer see all these good things that this government has done and is continuing to do. But we should not focus on those who refuse to see. We have a greater task ahead of us. Our task is the mandate to change the lives of our people. Our mandate is to build better communities. And this is the mandate we are committed to and will never betray. As we go to these elections, we do so with the knowledge that municipalities are important vehicles to drive economic development. It is for this reason that we have adopted an attitude to strengthen the capacity of our municipalities. We want municipalities which will be able to work with the private sector to attract investment and to develop our communities. We need to build that capacity, ladies and gentlemen, in our municipalities. It is for this reason that the ruling party has decided to deploy mayors who are well educated and capacitated, or with capacity, and with the knowledge of local government sector, knowledge and experience of the local government sector. That time of just deploying people because they are popular, of just deploying that in this government. We want people who will bring a difference to the lives of our people. If we work together, we will achieve the development and the prosperity that we all have. Program Director, our approach is to build this type of infrastructure, not only in the area, because for as long as you've got people, then it is possible that you can develop a market. There is a concept called Fordism, which developed in the US, in particular in Boston, Massachusetts, Harvard University, which they called Fordism, where it is suggested that you go there, build an industry that will feed itself, build an industry that will develop its own market. That is exactly what we want to do. And you can only do that because you are the ones who have voted for this democratic government. Indeed, ours is to create an infrastructure that makes life easy everywhere, not just in big cities. This project, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to make sure, as the provincial government, and we are going to make sure, and I'm sure that this sword-turning ceremony is part of the good things that we continue to do for our people in this country. Today is indeed better than yesterday, surely. And tomorrow will surely be better than today with this kind of developments that we are bringing here. Without taking much of your time, ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to take my hat off for Dr. Nkuna and his company. Just this year, 2021, we journeyed together during the official opening of Mpepu Plaza, one of his rural infrastructure projects. It was during that special occasion that the Masingita group of companies pledged to do more in Limpopo. For that commitment, we want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And you are indeed a reliable patriots who actualize the ideal of public-private partnerships. And together, we move Limpopo forward. As if it was not enough, we also like to appreciate your good Samaritanship, Dr. Nkuna. This one is as a result of the ongoing intervention you are making at Silo School for the Blind. You are indeed a shoulder to Program Director, it doesn't end here. As if the above was not enough, Dr. Mike Nkuna and Masingita Group of Companies have contributed immensely during our recent Limpopo Investment Conference held on the 1st and the 2nd of September 2021. Through their pledge, the conference has surpassed its original target, becoming a visiting doctor to some of our academic institutions. I've seen this happening in other countries. You spoke about Steve Jobs. I've seen him lecturing at Harvard University on a part-time basis as a visiting doctor. I have seen many professors and retired business people going to business schools in many institutions, imparting their knowledge and experience there. Because there's nothing that beats experience. Experience is the best teacher. Ladies and gentlemen, we say this as we reiterate our call that government alone cannot decisively deal with the high levels of poverty, unemployment, and inequality. We require all hands on deck, and young people are our key to resolving all these existing challenges. Young people must rise and take advantage of the fourth industrial revolution to conquer the world. Young women and males are called upon to take advantage of the opportunities that are available in our mining, agriculture, and tourism to shine. I call upon all the people of Limpopo to embrace the good example of Dr. Nkuna and his company and rise. It is possible, and only through innovation and hard work, it can be done, and it can be made possible. Before I sit down, please allow me to quote from the father of African Renaissance, the late Kwame Nkrumah, when he said, "It is not about the height of which you see a man, but a depth of which a man is coming from." Close quote. I call upon the people of this area to appreciate, support, and safeguard this newly launched development. It is yours to benefit and improve your lives and livelihoods. Please take care of it. And lastly, always remember that COVID-19 is still very much with us. Please adhere to all the prevention measures, and most importantly, go out there and vaccinate in your millions. Or perhaps, to steal from Blaine Zimande's slogan when he said, "Vaccinate and vote, and vote and vaccinate."
Another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, thank you so much, Premier, for a very, very illuminating keynote address. When I was studying at Medunsa, we had a visit from a world-renowned neurosurgeon called